Hello, and welcome to an exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ron, your host, and this is a movie, like I said before, I got this finished a couple hours ago. Now, the movie we're taking a look at is an exploration film. It's an adventure film, or adventure thriller, however you want to say. The movie was actually produced by none other than James Cameron, and the movie stars Richard Roxburgh, Reese Wakefield, Alice Parkinson, Dan Wiley. I'm probably butchering that wrong. Alongside Ian Gafford, probably getting that last name wrong. But the movie is called Sanctum. Yes, we're taking a look at 2010's Sanctum. Now, Sanctum is a movie that I wasn't sure what to expect. Let's run down the film. We all know underwater scenes in movies. We all know underwater scenes in movies help evoke the film. But what if you made a film that dealt with underwater in the whole way through the film? You get a movie called Sanctum, which is basically, the movie actually focused on cave divers. No, the cave explorations, or I think they're cave divers. Yeah, I think they are cave divers. We'll say cave divers because there's a lot of scuba diving in this. So it's a cave diving gone wrong. And the movie focused on a man named Frank McGuire, which is Richard Roxburgh. If that name's familiar, I covered a film on the channel, Van Helsing on the channel. He was in 2004's Van Helsing as Count Dracula, a movie I covered on the channel. The movie, like I said, also has Reese Wakefield, who would actually go on to be in 2000 in the first installment of the Purge franchise. It also has Ian Gaffin, Mr. Fantastic from the first two Fantastic Four films. So he's in it too. He plays, I believe, a guy, I forget his character's name, but he's another sort of exploration guy as well. See, they all go into this huge cliff and they go exploring it. But turns out it's a cliff diving exploration gone wrong. See, instead of the monster being that, it's the cliff, is the underground tunnel. I don't know really how to explain it though, but yeah, the movie is. I was actually surprised with this movie. I thought the movie was going to be similar to Devil, where you don't care about the characters. Although this movie, yes, this is what Devil should have been about. I will give it this. It's much better than M. Night Shyamalan's Devil. I thought this was just going to be bad, but to be honest, in my opinion, it's average but fun at times. So, right at the beginning, they're in the jungle. The movie is shot in Austria, so Queensland, Australia. Not Austria, Australia was what I meant to say. So it's filmed in Queensland, Australia. That's where the movie is set, and that's where the movie takes place. Though I did mention the movie was also made by Relative Media, which I did cover. It's Complicated, which was also from Relative Media. So, yeah, and again, they're like explorations, but this cave plays with their mind. I will say this, the cinematography in Australia looks gorgeous. The underwater scenes are good, though some of it's a little too CG. Like, some of the stuff is a little too CGI. They use the same camera technique in Avatar. James Cameron just got finished with that, and he produced the movie, but didn't direct it. It's actually directed by unknown Alistair Gerdeson? Alistair Gerdeson. I'm probably butchering that wrong. So it was actually directed by him, but it was written by John Garvin and Andrew Wright. Now, Andrew Wright, who wrote this, I'm going to give some behind-the-scenes stuff. I was watching the part 1 of Sanctum, the Real Story, which is what this is based on. So the writer of this movie is, like I said, Andrew Wright. And in 2005, he and a bunch of friends went inside the cliff when they had a cliff diving, cliff exploration diving, whatever it is that was gone wrong. So basically, it locks all four of them. All four of these main characters get locked into this tunnel. They have to try to make their way out of the cave. Not cliff, it's cave. I'm sorry, cave. It's about a cave. So they're stuck in this cave and they have to kind of make their way out. So basically, that's what the writer was in 2005. It says it's based on actual real events, inspired by real events, but I didn't really find much of this real. Oh, so this movie kind of copies two movies. There was a movie in the 80s that had James Earl Jones and the guy from the first Karate Kid movie. He was in it, and that was made in 1982. So it had that. The Australian Queensland almost feels like the second half, the last half of Kevin Costner's Dragonfly, which not to say that movie is bad or anything. It's just it kind of copies Sanctum. So basically, they had to. All the characters have to make their way through by basically walking in the cave. They have to go underwater and then scuba dive their way through it. The characters do. Though the one girl decides she has a jacket. So some of the characters do die in this. Like the one character all of a sudden drowns because her regulator popped or something like that and couldn't get much air. So they're going back and forth trying to give each other air. She's dead. That's not spoiling the movie. That's at the beginning of the movie. She's dead. Then Richard Roxburgh. Their father and son, by the way. Richard Roxburgh and Reese Wakefield, their father and son. So Frank suggests to the girl that, hey, you might want to put on this wetsuit. And all of a sudden she's saying, funds, no. I'm not putting that on. So she goes scuba diving with just a raincoat, and then all of a sudden she's almost dying of hypothermia. So she's like, maybe I should have wore the wetsuit. I'm sitting there like, no crap, Sherlock. Maybe you should have. That's her fault. So yeah, they're trying to keep her warm, and then all of a sudden they do make it. And though Reese Wakefield, forget his name. It just says on the back, his 17-year-old son. So he's trying to, he's helping out, but apparently the light hits the one girl, and then she gets her skin caught on the chains. So she's panicking, and they're trying to hold with all the muscle. So she's taking knife cuts. She falls down and drowns. Most of the characters either die of drowning. That's not giving away the whole film. I'm not going to tell you how the outcome is at the end of the film, because when I was watching the movie, I thought, oh, they're all going to die. Yes and no. I was kind of wrong about it, but I'm not going to show you who survived in this movie. You just got to have to watch the movie. So some of the characters are complete idiots. Like some of them at the beginning, some of the characters at the beginning that do drown are idiots. But the dynamic between the two, father and son, Richard Roxburgh's character Frank, and the other guy, Reese Wakefield, I think it is. They're father and son, and it just, you can tell they bond. That's kind of what I liked about Sanctum. I would just call this just generic. But it's an above average, it's average but fun movie. There's some good parts I like, and there's some parts I don't like. So, yeah, again, it's fine, it's fun. I mean, all you have to do is just take your brain out, put your brain on the table, and suspend in disbelief. Is Sanctum, now the question is Sanctum better than Devil? And I will tell you this, yes. The problem I had with Devil is you had unlikable characters, you had dumb characters, and it was about an evil elevator. Now, I might have missed some watching, but it just was bad. Sanctum is basically about a killer cave. And there's the fight at the end is really good. I thought it was really good. Some of the underwater stuff is really good. There were some stunt people who did it, but some of them I feel like they did some of the underwater stuff. And I will say this, the gore in this is really, really cool. There's a lot of practical effects in this, like the blood and some of the characters, like you can tell it's real blood. Like literally when the girl's trying to cut some skin off, you can see that skin. It's like Some of the characters get killed. They get killed in gruesome ways. It's like look. It made me a little squeamish. I felt like I was just gonna go like the knife cutting the skin. That almost made me want to vomit. But in the end, it ends on a happier note, and I'm sitting there like, yes. I'm like, he's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. He's like, yes. And I just cheered, and I was like, that had a really good ending. So yeah, is Sanctum perfect? Not really, but if you do want to check it out, this movie is not terrible. Sanctum is a fun time. It's a good movie. It's above average, or average at best, fun film. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to recommend Sanctum. I feel like this one is actually really, really good for what it is. It tries something different than no other film has ever done. I've seen most movies that dealt with like 2, 3, 4, 5 underwater scenes. Like a lot of underwater scenes in animation are really good, especially the underwater scene in Chipmunk Adventures. That's really cool. But as a film that deals with having, instead of having the monster be existing, let's make the cave the monster. And basically, like, characters that go nuts. The cave plays with these characters' brains. And I feel like the cave could easily be that invisible monster. And for that, it's good. It's a fun time. It's above average. It's average fun at best. So, yeah. Now, before I go ahead and give you the rating to Sanctum, I went back and forth to see what I was going to give it. Now, originally as I was watching this, that first beginning where they're in the island, meeting all the villagers, I didn't like it at first because I just thought it got too boring. Like when they're doing a lot of talking, meeting the characters, I originally had that as a 2 out of 5. But I second-guessed myself as I was continuing the film, as I was paying attention and focused on these characters. The father and son dynamic, I thought, like, once they got onto surface, I thought, okay, once they got on the surface, that's it. They did it. They got out of the cave. There's a little more. I still second-guess myself. So, this is the actual rating I'm going to give the movie. I'm going to give Sanctum a 3 out of 5. And again, it's the father and son team up. One of the best father and son duo in film I've ever seen. The characters, well, some are idiots. The father and son does make up for what I did rate this film. And yeah, I think a 3 out of 5 is fine by me. It's totally a fun film. If you want to check out Sanctum, definitely give this one a watch. It was definitely a blast from start to finish. And I feel like I'll watch this one again with a buddy and kind of give it maybe a second viewing, because this is one of those movies I feel like I could watch again over and over and over again. It is very violent. Like I said, this is an R-rated film. I thought this movie was going to get... I thought, when I first heard about this movie, I thought it was going to be PG-13. But it's rated R because the foul language, there are some violence and disturbing images. I will say a lot of the blood stuff. There's disturbing image I count more as gross imagery. But that's pretty much what I'm going to say. Yeah. Check out Sanctum. Like I said, I'm recommending it. If you, like I said, check it out. If you have a rental store, definitely give it a rent. And this is another movie that the folks at Shout Factory is putting out 4K. Is putting this out in 4K. So that's also kind of the reason why I wanted to check this out. I was like, I think I have that movie. I haven't covered it on the channel, but I'm glad I did. And it's a ton of fun. I'm really close to putting this on my best list. I had to think about though, but as of now, this might either get on the best list or in honorable mentions. This might be one of the honorable mentions movies, but we'll see. Like I said, the year just started, so yeah. Like I said, Sanctum, fun movie. So that is my review of Sanctum. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the content of the channel, you can like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get all of my video notifications. And like I said, I'm on Letterboxd, guys, so you can check me out there. I rate the movie before I review it, and yeah. And that's it, guys. And yeah. And as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.